Hello and welcome to another episode of Auds and Ends. I'm your host, Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith, and I'm happy to have you join us again for another episode this month. This is a program that's produced by the Montgomery County Auditor's Office, where we talk to some fascinating people in our community and to learn more about them and what they do and what they're all about and the different things that they contribute to the community. And we're very happy to have as our guest this month Lori Kennedy, who's the Montgomery County Recorder, one of my colleagues in county government. So Lori, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Carl, for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Great. And it's what's fascinating about this, and what I appreciate Lori joining us, is she's a new county official. She was elected in November of last year and started her tenure as County Recorder in January. So we'll talk what that experience has been. But first, let's learn a little bit more about you. So give me a little bit more about your background.
Sure. Well, I'm born and raised here in the Dayton area. So I'm a Daytonian here in the Gem City.
So you're a Kettering Fairmont graduate?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Kettering Fairmont Firebird, 1988 graduate.
Okay.
Yep. So wonderful for that. I went on to college. I did University of Cincinnati for a bit.
Okay.
And returned back to Dayton, attended Miami Jacobs College downtown here.
Okay.
And earned my college degree there.
And in what particular subject?
Ironically, it was fashion merchandising, business administration / fashion merchandising. I actually wanted to, not many people know this, but I wanted to be a buyer in New York City.
Okay.
I wanted to move to New York City.
Did you ever go to New York City?
I did years later with the industry that followed me, and I know we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But I didn't go right off. So what I did end up doing while I was attending Miami Jacobs is I started working in finance. If you recall the days of Gem Savings.
I do.
Yeah, Gem Savings Bank. So my first job was a teller at Shears Grocery Store at Woodman and Burkhart inside.
I remember.
If you remember that location
that.
in Shears,
Yes.
Grocery Store. So I started at Shears Grocery Store. From there, Gem Savings obviously merged with First National, then National City Mortgage. I believe it's PNC now, if I'm correct. So I went through all the mergers up until PNC. From the banking industry, I grew with that. So I became a loan officer within the banking industry. I went on to work for Code Credit Union, City of Dayton Employees Credit Union. Scott Rutherford, who is still the CEO.
Okay.
I was his collection manager and also a loan officer over there. So that was some phenomenal.
Just regular loans. Did you do any mortgage?
I started to get into it when I worked at Code Credit Union.
Okay.
So it was more car loans and personal loans.
Okay.
That actually took me to. I worked for I went on to go work for GMAC Mortgage.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with GMAC Mortgage.
I am.
Ironically, I call myself a General Motors kid. My father retired from General Motors.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up in the car industry, so to speak.
You're here in Dayton. He was in the.
Yeah. He was a product engineer for Delphi.
Oh, for Delphi. Okay.
For Delphi.
Okay. Yeah.
For Delphi.
Okay. Well, that's our history here.
Right.
A little bit of
our
history.
Here. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you know this or not, and most people won't know who I'm talking about here, but James Alford, who's the Director of Data Processing and been with the county now for 20-some years, he comes from Gem Savings.
I did not know that.
You knew that or not?
I will have to talk to James about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, and then you got into real estate at some point in your career?
I go on to working at GMAC Mortgage. I was offered a position as a mortgage loan officer, so that's where I gained the majority of my experience. I was really very young at the time. I was in my late 20s, and they offered me the position for assistant district manager.
Okay.
So then I began running many mortgage teams within GMAC Mortgage, which is pretty phenomenal too. So I gained my underwriting experience there, processing experience, worked with many of the appraisers, the title companies, the whole realm of the mortgage industry.
So that kind of background probably helps you in your work now as county recorder.
No, most definitely. Most definitely.
What ever prompted you to decide to run for county recorder?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll back up just a little bit because
Okay.
I think it's important to know where my career took me.
Okay.
So at GMAC Mortgage, I got the opportunity to transfer at that time. It was 2003, and to take that opportunity with GMAC Mortgage and move to Florida. So in 2003, I moved to Florida to continue on with my lending experience there and manage additional mortgage teams down in Florida. So I did that for, another 8 years, I want to say. So I have like 25 years plus experience in the mortgage lending industry.
Working with mortgage teams, is that what you said?
Mortgage teams.
Now,
Well, I created my, I had teams that I managed
I see.
at the time.
I see.
That I did
So
that,
now,
so.
what's a mortgage team?
A mortgage team, well, they were just different satellite offices.
I see.
So within the state,
Okay.
so to speak, yeah, and here in
Okay.
Ohio as well.
But that gives you a lot of management and leadership
Exactly.
experience, right?
Exactly.
Besides the
Absolutely.
finance experience, there's some leadership experience that comes with all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you asked me what led me to be recorder. So I ended up moving back 20 years later to Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
I suppose I missed the change of seasons, not necessarily the winters. My goal was to be a snowbird at the time, but that's obviously since changed. But my passion for helping others and the heart that I have to serve, I knew would be a perfect fit for me.
So when you were here, you moved back here 20 years ago, is that what you said?
I just
Something
moved
like
back. I was in Florida for 20 years when I moved down in 2003,
Okay.
and I moved back just shy of 3 years. It'll be 3 years this Labor Day,
Okay.
September.
Okay.
That I haven't been back that long, about 2.5 years.
And so have you been in the mortgage lending or finance world in the last 3 years? Is that what we've been doing most recently?
So I didn't touch on prior to returning back to Ohio. I did get my real estate license.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have my real estate license. They're in a referral program with Berkshire Hathaway. And I've probably had my real estate license going on about 8 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the recorder's office.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say your real estate license and the finance and leadership and all of those things, I think you would agree would have been very helpful in the position of county recorder. So let's talk about what is a county recorder.
Sure. I often get asked, what is a recorder? What does the recording office do? So there.
I'm the same way, people auditor, auditor, treasurer, recorder, clerk of courts. It all runs together.
What does everyone do?
It all runs together.
And we do tie together.
Yes.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So my office records, maintains, and protects all the documents that pertain to property owners in Montgomery County. We actually, in my office, we have over 100 different documents that we record in my office.
Types of documents.
Types of documents. So those types
you have
are like
a lot more documents than that.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we do. But some examples of that are deeds, mortgages, release of mortgages, power of attorneys. We also, for the veterans, their discharge papers, their DD-214s, we record those as well.
Talk about that, because that's been an important program, I think, and you do a lot with promoting that with veterans.
Sure. So we go out into the community. So we do an outreach program for veteran IDs. What they have to record them. So we always ask that when we're out in the community and we advertise for them to come, that they bring their DD-214. We make sure that there's an honorable discharge, and then we also record it. We make sure it's recorded. What we will do is produce them a free Veterans ID card, which will allow them numerous discounts in the community to participate in.
So I've seen this. This is a photo ID card.
It is.
And that they can use throughout the community for a variety of reasons. A lot of organizations accept that as a form of identification, and so that's great. I know I've been at different places. Well, you were at the fair recently,
exactly.
Right? We were at the county fair recently. You had a booth
we
there.
had a booth like yourself.
Yeah. And you were taking.
And we were doing veteran IDs at the fair.
Right. Yeah. So that's great.
So we offer that.
One issue that has been very important and it's gotten a lot of attention in the media and among the public is the issue of deed fraud. And you talked about that was one of the responsibilities of the recorder's office is protecting those documents. Talk a little bit for me about your deed fraud efforts.
Sure. So
not your deed fraud efforts, but protecting deed fraud. Yes.
Right. So that's been a top priority of mine. So when I was campaigning as well, I vowed that I would do my very best to get a handle on this deed fraud that's become that has been a problem and that is currently a problem in the area. So we have obviously our programs. Brandon McLean created the FANS program, which is the Fraud Alert Notification System. So I'm strongly out in the community with my staff advocating for all the property owners in Montgomery County to please sign up for that. It's so very important.
How many people do you have in the program now? Do you know?
Yes, thank you for asking. So we actually have 36,000 signed up.
Oh, that's great.
The parcels are 246,000, so we have quite a ways to go.
Right.
But we're actively doing it, and we've made headway this year, even in the last 6 months. So that's pretty phenomenal.
This is a problem or an issue not just here in Montgomery County, but throughout the state. I know. A year ago, I did a presentation at the Auditor's Summer Conference where I talked about the program in our recorder's office, and also I found information from other counties where they have similar programs. And so you've probably worked with some folks beyond the county's borders.
Absolutely. I work with the neighboring recorders, and then being able to participate in the ORA and the different sessions that they offer, I've definitely educated myself more so on that. So
again, it's just unfortunately it happens more often than people think, and we didn't hear about it at all up to a few years ago, but apparently it's become a major concern.
It has, yes. You're right, it wasn't happening up until a couple years ago.
And it's just not, people think they're protected in their home, and that's their home is their castle, and to have someone fraudulently take that home and sell it off to somebody, we don't want that, right? We're doing everything we can to stop that.
Right, 100%. Ironically, I guess you just never really think it's going to happen to your home. I mean, just like stealing your car, right? I mean, that's unfortunate. However, your home, your personal property, it's the American dream. So there's a lot that goes along with that.
So people probably don't realize this, but there's a close connection between the auditor's office and the recorder's office when it comes to these types of issues. When people transfer property, they first go to the auditor's office to transfer the property, and then they go to the recorder's office to record the deed. So we've recently taken some steps to kind of work on that whole process. Did you want to comment on that at all?
Absolutely. So thank you again, because you and I'm excited that we've been able to partner like we have in the last couple of months. We have created what's called a pre-check, so a deed fraud pre-check, which I'm excited about. I know you are as well.
Yes.
It's been working fantastically. It's been ongoing now for a couple of months, I'd like to say. But to explain to everybody out in the community what this program is because the quitclaim deeds were originally coming to your office, the auditor's office first.
And that's where we see most of the deed fraud occurring.
Sure.
Through the use of what's called a quitclaim deed.
Exactly. The quitclaim deeds seem to be problematic. They are the most problematic.
Did you want to explain what a quitclaim deed is for folks?
Sure. So a quitclaim deed is a document that the homeowner, or excuse me, well, if you want to talk about the fraud, right, the fraudster. So what's happening pertaining to the fraud is a document is taken by a thief, and they are forging the owner's name. And in this case, what we're seeing, you and I, Carl, is the quitclaim deeds.
Yeah.
So they're forging the owner's name. And often what we're also seeing, you and I, is that the notaries are not active.
So they're forging the name and the signature.
And the signatures.
And then they've got a notary who's saying that is
in fact the owner that is not the owner.
And it is not the owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sadly enough, it's very easy to access quitclaim deeds. It's also easy to even purchase a fraudulent notary stamp, so I understand. I haven't seen it myself, but that's what I'm hearing. So we have to do everything we possibly can to protect the citizens of Montgomery County so that this does not continue to occur. But along with the fraud, so what's happening is at that point, then they're coming to our offices and they're either trying to get it transferred and or recorded at the same time. So we're doing everything we can to stop that. I do, once that is happening and the quitclaim deed, or the fraudster, I should say, is trying to attempt this, and we're doing our best to catch it, we will do what's called an affidavit in fax, and we will have the original, the property owner come in and fill out that affidavit in fax, and we will package it up and we'll take it to we'll package it up and take it to the investigators for further prosecution.
Quitclaim deeds are a method of transferring property. Basically, most of the time it's between family members or something like that. I mean, there is a legitimate purpose for those.
Yes.
There is a legitimate purpose, but because they're a quick way of doing things, there's usually not a title search, and there's no those types of things that happen. So
I should have touched on that as well. It's just an easy form that accesses a transfer of property ownership. Too easily.
Too easily.
Too easily.
So that's why it becomes a target for these fraudsters, as you referred to them. And I know, and so now we're when we get those, we're directing those. Your folks are now doing a pre-check on those before we transfer them.
Yes.
Because once it's transferred, it's hard to.
Then it's hard to
reverse that.
Yeah. So thank you again, because that's what we're doing is we're reviewing the prep statements, the signatures, absolutely the notaries. First and foremost, we're checking with the Secretary of State to make sure these notaries are active.
Right. So again, a great effort going on between the two of us, I think, and our
100%.
Staff in our office trying to protect people. I think people should know that we are doing what we can to protect people. Sometimes the law ties our hands, though, and that's unfortunate. I know that the Auditors Association is working on some legal issues to try to clarify some of our roles when it comes to this. Who knows whether that will go anywhere or not? But I appreciate you and appreciate your staff. You know, that's been a top priority for you since you've been in office. Now, it's nice. We share space too in the county building. We have I share part of the floor with some of my staff shares part of the floor with you. So it's nice for us to be able to work together on some things. Let's talk about e-filing.
Okay.
So because I know that's been a top priority for you as well. So we would tell where we're at with that.
Sure. So the e-recording, I'm real excited about that. You and I have been working closely together with our teams to implement this. I know it's going to be mandated next year. We're currently already working with Simplifile, which we're e-recording non-transferable documents at this time. So going on board with that, I will tell you that the title agencies, the title companies, the attorneys, settlement agents, they are super excited that we are going to be utilizing the e-recording and e-filing system full time. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be better for time efficiency. Instead of it taking weeks, it's going to be hours. It's going to be direct. It's going to be instant. It's also going to improve customer service on all levels.
When we say e-filing, we mean electronic filing.
Electronic
filing.
Is
all of it. So instead of having to walk into
Absolutely,
our offices
because it's
with paper.
Right now they're walking in. Sometimes there's lines. We're doing our best to get through it, but it does take a little bit of time. So when you can do the e-filing, it's instant. Again, It could take weeks, right, for everything to, between your staff and my staff, to have it transferred, to have it recorded, and this will be instantaneously.
Going back to the days, again, this was before you were the recorder, but going back to the days during COVID, and when we were shut down. one thing that was considered mandated service was the real estate industry. That was I forgot the term that the governor used, but this was something that had to continue.
Okay.
And so even though other parts of our offices were closed or had scaled back, we had to continue to transfer properties and record properties because that was considered a mandated service. But it was difficult to do because we had to we had boxes down on the first floor. I don't know if you know this or not. We had boxes down on the first floor.
I have heard this.
You've heard this story?
Well, not too much of it, but I've heard that they were boxes. Yes.
And
tell me more about that.
Yeah, people would drop off their paperwork and everything, and then someone would come and take them upstairs to our offices, and we had reduced staff. We didn't have as many staff people, but working, and they were working staggered shifts and that type of thing. But the real issue was we had more transactions going on. We were transferring 90, 100, 110 properties a day, every day. And the market was so hot, and it's calmed down a little bit. But the market's still doing pretty good.
That had to be so challenging back
it was very challenging.
In the pandemic days.
Well, and that was one of the issues. You mentioned how long it would take people. We'd get people to where's my documents? Well, it's in the stack here. We're working through it, but it's a challenge. So this e-filing though will help streamline that whole process.
Absolutely. I'm real excited about it, and I know the community is too, especially the title companies that we spoke about, the attorneys, those that have the need for it that we serve. Right.
That's great, and we're looking forward to that. I mean, this is new.
It is.
We're still in the process of getting it all set up and implemented, but soon, right? Coming soon.
We've been working on it for quite a while here.
So. One thing that we haven't talked about in your background that I am fascinated with.
Okay.
I want to talk. You've been involved in your career, not as county recorder, but in your career you've been involved in aviation.
I have.
In aviation. Talk to me about your aviation experience. Not as a flyer, right?
Right.
You're not a pilot, right?
I am not a pilot. I enjoy flying.
Okay.
I enjoy traveling. Sure. So I'll go back to, as I explained, when I moved to Florida.
Okay.
And I was in mortgage lending for quite some time. Around the time, if you recall, in 2008, the bubble bursts throughout the United States, right? Well, Florida was very much affected with that. And at that time, I was still doing mortgage lending. I was still doing finance, and I was still doing real estate, right? However, I had several pilot friends. And so I did fly quite a bit with them in different things, but I ended up getting into a private aviation. So as a private jet charter broker.
Okay.
So what does that mean? So I organized all private air travel. So I deal with all the floating fleets, all the operators, all the carriers, and there's several hundreds of thousands of them throughout the world, actually. That being said, so with all the different types of aircraft, I would do anything from helicopters, turboprops, light jets, mid-sized jets, super mid-sized jets, all the way up to heavy jets.
Okay.
And BBJs on occasion, which those are, like the Lamborghinis of the sky, so to speak, like maybe what Elvis used to have with the living rooms and the staterooms inside the aircraft.
Wow! So you would charter as a broker. You would just charter these.
So what I did in my sales was, and I started out brand new, fresh, right? So somebody handed me like a book and said, call all the Ritz-Carltons all over the world, Laura, and talk to the concierges and get the business. So I would deal with the ultra high net worth because there is. An expense associated with flying private, clearly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But so I would organize the air travel is what I would do. So let's say you wanted to travel anywhere. Maybe you wanted to go to Vegas this week, right? So you would call me and I would say, Carl, well, fantastic. Do you have a certain budget? Do you have a specific aircraft in mind? Then I would go out, like I said, into the market and find
like a private. So I'm trying to
only
charter
private
charter jet.
Only a private jet.
Okay.
I'm just getting you a private jet.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, for you and your family. Any place you want to go.
That I can work and have food and drinks on the plane and.
Oh, absolutely, I do all that too. So I handle the catering, I handle the transportation. Yeah, I did all of that. So, so what I would do is I would give you several different options to choose from and show you the specs, right? The specifications of the aircraft, the ins and outs, the pictures, what have you, all the ins. And then, of course, the price,
and the
right?
Price tag.
And the price tag is probably most important, right? And then you would choose the aircraft that you want, and then I would go back to the carrier, the operator, and book that plane, secure it for you.
Well, that's fascinating. This was something I did not know about.
Yeah, absolutely. So just in different, like I might add that I've flown artists, dignitaries, I've flown families. So there's a big need with pets as well.
Oh, with pets, okay.
Yeah, so many dogs, flown many dogs, many cats. I even flew a duck once.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Just the duck, or
no? With the family, she had a pet duck. Yeah, she had a pet duck. But anyway, it's an interesting industry, and it's great. Aviation is a wonderful way to travel.
So you've had a very, very wide-ranging background, and does all this? How's all this?
How does this all tie in together?
As a county recorder, do you think?
Sure. Again, so when I came back, I didn't know my exact purpose of why I came back. My mother's with me too, so I might add that. So I've always
good for you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I've always been somewhat of a caretaker, taking care of my family and friends, and just the biggest heart. So I knew I wanted to do something with the community. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, and when this opportunity presented itself, I thought it was a perfect fit for me, given my experience and my passion for taking care of others.
You have been in this role now for almost a year, 8 months, 7, 8 months?
7 months.
7 months?
Almost.
Is it everything you dreamed?
It is, and more.
And more.
It is, and more. It's been life-changing for me.
Okay.
It really has.
Has it?
Yeah, it really has. I'm excited every day. I love working with my staff. My staff's wonderful. They're doing great work. I'm committed to them. So I'm just so excited. With every day is a new opportunity for me. And, just making the difference in the community and being able to serve as an elected official is such an honor, Carl.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. Well, we're happy to work with you. And I know that you are committed and got a number of things going that you want to try to improve the office.
I do.
And improve county government. And so I appreciate that and appreciate your commitment to the community and to customer service. And it's an honor to work with you. And so thank you for joining us.
Yeah, likewise. It's an honor to work with you. I'm really
thank you
excited
very
about
much.
our partnership.
Great. Happy to have you on the program this month and learn a little bit more about you and private aviation and some of the funds and the things that you're doing in the recorder's office, important stuff. And so thank you very much for what you do. That's going to wrap us up for this month's episode of Odds and Ends, and we look forward for you to join us next month. Thank you very much.